it out! Cut it out! Calm down! Calm down, ladies! Stop it! Calm down!
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment down below and I just might end up responding. Where in the hell is Ronda San Diego? Is she on Raw? Nope, we didn't leave her there. How about SmackDown? No? Oh, did she find her way down to NXT with those other horsewomen? Oh, no. It's total divas. We put the baddest women on the planet on a reality TV show. Okay, I'm D. Wicker from watching WWE. I wish that was a secret, or at least something I could forget about. And here's 10 more secrets WWE may or may not be hiding about Ronda Rousey. Number 10, her ex's mental health comments. Ronda Rousey had a fair bit of controversy, as the Brits like to say, over her relationships going between Brendan Schaub to Travis Brown. While we've covered the nefarious, potentially affair-riddled details in past videos, we've yet to comment on Brendan's comments post-breakup. Leading up to UFC 207, Schaub commented on the mental health of her former partner, saying that he was still predicting her victory as long as her focus and mental health were in check, which he claimed hadn't been for a while. Given just how secretive Rousey had been, especially back in that time regarding her personal life, she must have hated someone who was actually close to her, someone who would know these things, revealing that she was in a rough patch going into the biggest fight of her life.
You used to date Ronda Rousey?
Yes.
Many moons ago, yes.
Right.
Many
How long
moons
did
ago.
you date?
Not terribly long.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
All right.
Number 9, she's miserable pre-fight. And on that same note, many more than just Brendan have made note of Ronda Rousey's attitude and behavior going into her fights. While we aren't sure if this carried over as much into WWE, back when she was still mixing it up with the martial arts, Rousey's pre-month of fight would be spent in intense training, intense dieting, and more intense training.
The chick I'm fighting as a girlfriend, you know, she's gonna be all fired up and ready to go. So, I don't know, I'll just have to train extra hard to be able to deal with being without.
Given the rowdy attitude we already knew her for, it isn't too surprising to hear, but hearing just how bad the rowdiness went, mixing it up with hours of grinding and not a lot of food in her system, was a bit frightening. A bit hangry, if you will. It must have looked a little bit like this. And hey, speaking of that segment, number 8, kicking out the window wasn't cleared. Ronda Rousey's temper seems like it's definitely gotten the best of her a few times in the past, but when you're of the top fighters in the world, there's probably a bit of ego involved. Maybe that played a role when, during that amazing chaotic brawl between Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda leading up to the WrestleMania main event, Rousey was put in the back of a cop car with Becky before the two got into a kicking match, and Rousey ended up kicking the window out of the cop car, indenting the whole thing. She brought up that spot countless times going into the segment, but Rousey every single time was told by head office, no, it's not cleared, don't do it. So naturally, in the heat of the moment, Ronda said F it and did it anyways.
Hey guys, cut it out! Cut it out! Calm down! Calm down, ladies! Stop it! Calm down!
Number 7, Rousey fears raisinets. Throw that on a sign and take it to WCW Nitro. I bet you Bischoff would pick it out of the crowd. While Ronda Rousey may be the baddest woman on the planet, as of at least last year, she's still got a score to settle with the infamous and, in my opinion, disgusting Nestle candy. Who the hell wants raisins? Moist that mother up and eat some grapes. Anyway, Rousey remains 0-1 against the famed candy after a childhood incident that saw her and her sister contesting each other over who could shove a raisinette up their nose further. Children are the absolute worst. Supposedly, she still fears sneak attacks from the Nestle Quick Bunny till this day.
Wow.
Thank you for ruining raisinets for everybody.
Yeah. I've never had one again.
No,
I bet you haven't. Never.
Number 6, she kind of had it pretty easy. Fair play to Ronda. Okay, I'm not going to try and say she didn't have to put in the absolute work, grind her off, and truly transition from UFC fighter to professional wrestler, a change in career that we haven't seen pulled off this well since Kurt Angle 20 years ago. No knocking her there in the slightest. Absolutely, props to you, Ronda. However, trying to say that Rousey didn't show up and then immediately skyrocket to the top of the card without putting in the dues a non-celebrity wrestler would have had, is kind of ridiculous. And it makes sense, don't get me wrong, huge name from the outside world, bring her in and sell some new fans on the product, get you some ticket money. But for a former fighter who prided herself on building everything on her own, sort of contradicts when Vince just handed her a WrestleMania main event on a silver platter.
We're screaming in agony. Rousey's done it. Ronda Rousey's the Raw Women's Champion. Here is your winner.
Number 5, her mom's bashful blog. Why do I love this? Mrs. Rousey, the lovely mother of Mrs. Rowdy, has a blog, and she has not been quiet about her daughter's friend choices. No, for real. Back at the height of her UFC run, her mom had been blogging and noted a few times that she didn't really like or approve of the friend choices Ronda was making. Especially calling out the circle that follows celebrities who are there just for the clout and would never say no to anything. That's a dangerous group right there. Mama Rowd keeps up with her blog till this day and is seemingly happier with her daughter's choices now that she's in WWE. Or maybe Ronda didn't like the backlash that this got at the time and she put her mom in an armbar. I hope it's the latter.
She was one of the top athletes in the world when she walked in there, and he wouldn't even give her the time of day for months. Somebody like that is a terrible coach.
Number 4, her past relationship. We alluded to old Brendan Schaub a bit before with his past breakup comments, but how about the relationship itself? Well, nowadays Ronda has opened up her personal life about 1,000 times over, showing off her want to start a family with Travis on Total Divas. Things were never this way before, however, as her last relationship was clouded in mystique and mystery. No one really knows much about the pair when they were together, mostly because at the time Ronda was very unabashed about telling people her stance on personal life, and that the first word there is personal for a reason.
Here we go. That's going like it. No love lost between these two. Yeah, that's pretty much what we expect.
Number 3, why did she disappear after WrestleMania? I mean, listen, I understand Rousey being off television and outside of the ring right now because during this time right now, she's trying to start up a family and get pregnant and have a baby. That makes sense, but that's a fairly new development. There were rumors, but it's actually happening now. Like the most recent episode of Total Divas according to episode descriptions. However, it's November. WrestleMania was early April. Given the show that Total Divas is, I really doubt they need to prepare 9 months in advance and start shooting then. So why did Rousey drop off the face of the planet back in April? Hell, even if shooting was in like May or June, and she's been trying for that family ever since the rumors came out, why didn't it ever get explained? In kayfabe, Becky Lynch broke her arm so badly that she died the end.
Well, we know Charlotte and Ronda will meet at WrestleMania. The question is, will Becky Lynch be in the mix? And Becky's still trying to fight back.
Number 2, yes ma'am. Those are the 2 words that Brendan Schwamaker, welcome back once again sir, described as the perfect kind of guy for Ronda Rousey. Someone who will take a back seat, let the woman make all the important decisions, and just say, yes ma'am. Now, some people will say that Brendan's comments earlier about her mental health were too far. It's, you know, at least in comparison, it's not that bad. This, however, which also came pre-UFC 207, this just seems petty and comes off very, very poorly on Shababer's side. Even if true, why are you going out in public and bashing her like this? I truly do believe that people deserve to have their negatives on display so that they can learn and grow from them. However, our world is not catered to such a mindset, especially in the world of celebrityism, and this definitely just was not the forum to get this message across, my dude. And Dana White handedly agreed and dropped the interview on the spot.
I have no financial gain from you. I don't need anything from you. I've earned everything myself.
I don't think we should have this conversation.
I agree.
Out of respect.
My bad.
And number 1, she was more invested in the UFC main event than WrestleMania. A direct quote from Rousey after being asked to compare the two goes as such. Me and Liz Carmouche, I suck with names, sorry for ignorance, felt bigger to me. Even though it was years ago and not too many people watched, and it was in the Honda Center where 20,000 people watched compared to WrestleMania where 80,000 people watched. I just feel like me and Carmouche was the most pivotal moment, like everything had to happen that way or else women's MMA would have ended before it started. With WrestleMania, I felt like all the stars were aligned, the whole universe was conspiring for us to succeed, and I had not a single single doubt in my mind that we would succeed. But like for me and Carmosh, there were so many outside factors like the numbers to be well, and I had to win the match, and I had to win the match in an exciting way, and like there were just so many other different factors I had to worry about, and I feel like the stakes were higher in a way, even though the venue and the audience was smaller. Now that is an incredibly logical response in my humble opinion, but do you really think the higher-ups of WWE would see it the same way? I really am not sure.
I realized that I was willing to die in order to win this fight. Like, I was willing to be a quadriplegic to win that fight. Like, it was that important to me. I didn't care if I broke my neck.
And those are 10 secrets, kind of maybe, that WWE are hiding about Ronda Rousey. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, notifications, ring that bell. Ow, my hands hurt.